This video will show you exactly how I script 6 and 7 figure UGC ad creatives. I'll show you my exact scripting and research process and a live example of an ad script that we built with my team at paidadvertising.com. Now, if you're new to the channel, you don't yet know who I am. My name is Justin and I'm the founder at paidadvertising.com, an online marketing growth firm that has profitably spent over $9.6 million on paid ads in the last year alone on the behalf of our clients. Now, we've helped over 140 businesses scale with the power of paid ads, and I want to show you my process in this video. So let's get straight into it. Now, as you can see, I've got this beautiful, or I like to think it's beautiful, Miro board opened up in front of me that I made. So everything starts with research, right? Like when I want to make a new UGC ad, the first thing I'll go into is I'll do very thorough research about the business, the audience, the said client, so on and so forth, right? So the way it looks like, I have it all structured into what I call my research center, which looks a little like this. So it has a few different steps on it. So it has like the research step, then where I compile like the main desires of my audience, the way I compile my product research, my persona research, and where I actually build out my concepts. So going above right here, desire research, this is going to be the first thing that you're going to want to be doing, which is looking into customer reviews of your own customers, looking into competitor reviews as an example, so reviews on their own websites, and looking into perhaps forums like Reddit, Quora, Amazon, etc. That gives you usually the main desires or pain points of an audience and the reasons why they bought your product or a competitor's product in the first place. So reasons why someone buys, right? The why. Then you have the what. What do they buy, right? The product itself, which then you want to get into researching about the product. That's quite simple. Not gonna lie, especially if you are the offer or product owner. Here, what you want to do is you actually want to compile every single USP, so unique selling propositions, mechanisms, product details of a given product. So as an example, this t-shirt that I'm wearing right now, right? You can see this is a Uniqlo t-shirt. It's green. It's made out of Aerism fabric. Here's the benefits of the Aerism fabric. It's an oversized t-shirt, so on and so forth, right? So kind of listing everything about it. Now, persona research, well, what you would want to do is you would actually kind of go back to the desires here, or go back to the places for which you found those desires, right? So you have the why, the what, and then you have the who. So who exactly am I making a script for right here? Like who's the target audience? That you can tell through, again, looking into reviews, like what are the commonalities across all reviewers? You could also look into just data that's on the ads manager. You could go to your columns top right and use the breakdown features to then see like what's the gender, what's perhaps the state, the region of these people, what is their age range, and get more data also through post-purchase surveys or Google Analytics. So now I have the why, I have the what, I have the who. So I have pretty much all the components I need to finish my research phase and move on to my positioning phase. So what you want to do in positioning now is you want to make sure that you decide first, how exactly am I going to speak about this said angle? So let's go back, right? You have the why, you have the what, you have the who, now you have the how. How am I speaking to these people? How am I positioning my ad? Which in other words, we're now going into awareness levels. There are 5 main market awareness levels. You have unaware, you have problem aware, you have solution aware, you have product aware, and you have most aware, right? So various ways of thinking about that. And I'll give an example because yesterday I was on one of our calls with our ad engine community, and one of our students out there is actually an info product owner. He helps people just quit their 9-to-5 and become like a salesperson, right? He helps train salespeople. So he was asking me about like, what are some ways for me to speak to like unaware people, or what are some ways for me to speak to problem aware people? So I kind of told him the following, right? We're thinking about getting somebody from 9-to-5 and getting them into a sales job, right? Or training them up as a salesperson. Well, somebody who's unaware means that they're not actively aware of their own desire of wanting to quit their 9-to-5, or their own desire of, let's just say right now, let's just hypothetically speaking, go back to our desire research. We just figure out that the desire we want to speak of is a desire of making more money. Great, okay? Desire is making more money. Well, going to positioning, somebody who's unaware of their desire to make more money, the way you would want to speak to them is much different to somebody who's product aware. So how do you speak to an unaware person? You would say something along the lines of like, you don't know it right now, but you're about to get hit with one of the biggest recessions coming up within the next 12 months. Now, you think you have it safe because you've got a little bit of money saved up in your RRSP, but that isn't going to last. You'll soon find yourself on the street if you're not thinking about making more money and saving up for your future right now. That's somebody who's like unaware, or I hope that this was an unaware example with the way I just framed it. Now, problem aware would actually be like, look, you know, you're not making enough money right now, but you're wondering how the hell can I actually survive in this economy? How can I afford to pay my bills, to comfortably raise my kids, and to take care of my wife? Well, I've actually want to introduce you to online sales. So that's problem aware. All right. Solution aware is, look, you've been sold on Amazon FBA or dropshipping or agencies, but they all take time, and you have to really build a big business for you to make some decent money at the end of the day. Now, if you don't want to spend time building a big business, then what I recommend you do instead is get into online sales. Solution aware, because they're aware of other ways of how to make more money, right? An example of a product aware ad, which the desire is to make more money, which that kind of same persona I'm talking about, right? Somebody who wants to escape 9 to 5. You could perhaps talk to people who already are salespeople, but actually just want to make more money, right? So it could be something like, look, you got a sales job, but it's just not making it, right? The offer for which you're closing right now isn't the right offer, and you're just unable to stack up the commission checks. But I've actually got a way to place you with offers that are more high ticket, so you can actually make more money immediately by joining our program. So that's like somebody who's product aware. And then you would have like most aware, which is like, look, you've probably seen some of my ads so far. You've seen my face a couple of times now, and you've thought about joining X program. Well, here's what a few students are saying about their experience with us, right? So that's the most aware. So anyways, little example aside, tangent aside, that's what you need to decide right here, your positioning. Who are you speaking to, or more so, how are you speaking to them, right? I got a video talking about here, so if you want to search this up, the exact UGC ad frameworks of a $12 million ad spend company, check this out. I talked to you about a bunch of different frameworks you can steal from me based on the positioning you end up deciding on, okay? How do you decide the positioning? You decide that by doing your research, right? This is kind of, I could have put that part of my research phase. I didn't. I put that as a second. I actually just put that as like a separate phase. Nonetheless, you want to decide the best way or most likely to be way of speaking to your audience. So as an example, if you end up deciding that your audience is like unaware or problem aware or whatever, I got a bunch of different frameworks that you can use to structure that video, right? Which helps you then write your script. So if you want to check out all of these structures to save you some time, check out this other video on the channel that we have. But once you have that, and I'll then show you that in a second, but we would actually have our script, okay? But before I do that, before I even get into script writing, all I do here is I decide, how am I speaking to my audience? Because then what I do first before even getting into script writing is copywriting. That's just getting this out of the way. What you can quickly do now at this stage is build your concept headline and your ad copy and ad headline. Quick difference between the two: ad copy and ad headline are the pieces of copy and headline you have on your ad itself. So if you're on Facebook, little piece of text above the ad and below the ad, that's what I'm talking about right here. Concept headline is your hook, okay? It's just another word to talk about hook. If you have a static ad, that's the big bold claim on your static ad. If you have a video ad, it's what you say right at the start of that video ad. So now you can get to writing these two, because you know, going back right here, right? You know, essentially, you know why you're speaking to them, you know what you're speaking to them about, you know who you're speaking to, and you know how you're speaking to them, which therefore allows you to write your hook as well as your ad copy and ad headline. Little tip, which I've mentioned a few times on the channel, when it comes to copy, if you make a video ad, which is the purpose of today's video, right? Talking about UGC, you want to write a small piece of copy. Why? Which is quickest, to read the copy or to watch a video? Reading the copy. So the copy's goal is just to get people interested in the video, because you want to sell them on the video, not on the click, on the video. The video sells the click. So short piece of copy usually. Now, once you're done with that, you get into script writing. Okay, so this is where you want to actually write out your UGC script. Once you've wrote this out, I'll get to that in a second because I'll show you an example. What you want to do is you want to do tonality tuning. You actually want to read this aloud, and you want to make sure that it sounds like genuine, it sounds organic. What I like to do, which again I'll show you that, is to give more bullet points to creators so that it's more flexible for them to switch the words to the words that they think sound best out of their mouth, but it gives them a structure so that they stay as close as possible to the messaging I want to convey. And I typically ask creators to give us 3 hook variations, okay, which allows us to kind of spin these creatives, either to make a dynamic creative test out of them, or at least to have a few different variations for us to play with. Now, very important, don't be an extorter. Now, I know this sounds obvious, but I'm telling you, the amount of brands and agencies I've seen extort creators is astronomical. Now, some people will go to your creator, they'll, you know, pay them for $50, the creator accepts, and they'll send them like one video with like 5 body variations that are like, yeah, no, those are just variables. Look, it's the same thing. It's the same project, just variables. 5 bodies is like literally just 5 ads. Like, you would have to pay them 5 times the amount you're paying them. Like, this is no bueno for them, right? One script is one ad. If I ask them for 3 hook variations, usually most creators will accept. Why? Because it's one sentence. It's like a 5-second. So it's not like they have to re-record the entire thing. It's just 3 different sentences they have to say at the start, and we cut them up in the montage. If you even want to be safer, what I would say is design your script, or when you write your script, break sentences in there that you know you can extract and then use as hooks later on. Okay, so what does a script look like? Well, that's an example of it, right? I have a script right here. The awareness level is problem aware. So we're selling actually menopause supplements. Reason why we pick problem aware, well, here a person might not be sure whether they have menopause or not at this stage, or what they're currently experiencing. So market desire is I want to find a comprehensive solution for menopausal symptoms, or at least for symptoms I'm currently experiencing. So concept, are you going through menopause, right? So the concept here is to try and educate women and make them aware that they might actually be going through menopause. Right? Educate, we put that in big quotes because educating is usually very hard to do with an ad. It doesn't really get you a positive results. So we're still selling, right? So that's why we put educate. Hook, you think it might be experiencing perimenopause symptoms, or are you experiencing menopause-like symptoms but haven't been diagnosed yet, right? Intro, woman in the 40s. If your body is saying, so calling out the audience, right? Calling out the persona, the who. If your body is saying you're in menopause, but your doctor says, no, you need this product. Or I'm currently X years old and I got to be honest, I've been experiencing symptoms associated with the menopause. So on and so forth, right? Problem, going to problem, intro solution, going into it, solution benefits, going into it, outcome here, CTA. Now, step out for a second. What are the different building blocks? Hook, intro, problem, introducing the solution, the benefits of the solution, outcome, CTA. This is a problem aware script. Why? Because the main thing, right? The main thing, the hook and the intro and the first kind of piece of context we have is all problem related. We're all just twisting the knife in a problem that somebody may have. And then we're not really introducing the product as much. We're only introducing the solution and the benefits of the solution. So very light introduction of the product here. We're most so introducing solution. So this is why the goal with the problem aware ad, which in this example is to move somebody from problem aware to solution aware. Okay. Now going back to what we have right here, once you've written out the script, you want to pick the right creators. Okay. What I typically do, so I work with Incense. We've been working with Incense for almost 2 years now. And we typically are going to start with the product seeding campaign, meaning creators get paid per product. Okay, so they don't get paid in money, they get paid in the product. Why? Well, usually the creators that we have in these campaigns, the ones that actually deliver content for us, because that's something else, usually you have a bit of a hit or miss approach with product seeding. Depends of the industry and of the creators, but you might have, let's say 40 to 60% of creators only that are going to be sending you content. The rest won't, because again, they're not really committed to it because it's just product based. But the one that do end up delivering the content usually are better because they're more bought into the brand. And it's then like, usually I see like a better first result with that, which allows us to also kind of sift through the content pool, or creator pool, I should say, that we have. And then the ones that end up delivering great content and or that perform, we'll hire them and pay them for future projects. Okay. So here you want to select creators that either fit your persona or desired image of that persona. So fitting your persona, it's quite simple. You go back to your persona research. Who's my persona? You pick a creator that is exactly that persona. Quite simple. Desired image of that persona. I'll give you an example, right? Or two. Manscaped, right? So a men's like grooming brand. They use like, I don't know why I did a typo right here, but they used hot woman to appeal to men, right? They have a hot woman in their ad. This is like a desired state of the men. They kind of want to be desired by that woman, or they want to be with that woman, right? Subconsciously or consciously. Calvin Klein, same thing. They use ripped dudes, right? Dudes with like abs that are like super cut to show an image of what the average man could look like or could be perceived as if they wear Calvin Klein boxers. That's just an example of that, right? The average man that's going to buy Calvin Klein isn't that ripped or isn't that cut. No, right? It's like the average guy who might have a bit of a bod, right? A little bit of a dad bod, but they just hope to aspire to look like that man if they buy the product. So that's what I mean. Either creators that fit the persona or the desired image of that persona, right? And as mentioned earlier, once you find a creator that works through product seeding, then you hire them, pay them for specific projects. But sometimes if you're in a very niche space, and I just wanted to give that precision, you may have to start with paid deals. Like if you work with older women, or if you work with just men in general, because there are a lot less men creators out there, you might have to pay people from the start because of how few creators there are in a space. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you made it all the way through this video and you are an e-commerce brand or an info product owner wanting to work with a paid ads partner on Meta, Google, and or TikTok, click the button down below and book in a call with our team at paidadvertising.com today. And on that note, I'm going to wish you an amazing day. Check out other videos on the channel for some more useful marketing tips, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.